But you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you never ever gonna. It's actually romantic. Hey, it's Saturday. So I have all day to get stuff done out here in my sewing studio. I have tons of orders. One that I really need to finish today, and then the rest are kind of due next week. I also have a pattern test that I'm working on. I look so tired. You know, I should probably like do my makeup, do my hair before I try to get on here, but that just doesn't work out. The thing I'm doing today that's due today, or like it's not really due today because I can't ship it out until Monday, but if I don't do it today, I won't have time Sundays because Sundays I work at the church, and then Monday I'll have to like scramble. So it's basically due today. Like I just need to get it done. It's very time consuming because it's cutting blocks and then quilting. I like putting the blocks together, making quilting blocks, then quilting those blocks and turning it into a sweatshirt. It's a lot of work and I've barely started. I'll show you where I'm at right now. I've picked out like the green and gold fabrics, and then I've started kind of cutting the 2.5 inch blocks. This is so cute, the butterflies. Yeah, so she's wanting it like Packers colors. Normally I do Chiefs colors, but I am willing to make exceptions for money. You wanna pay me? I'll do it whatever color you want. But you don't know the life of a showgirl, babe. And you never ever gonna. I definitely have more like yellowy gold fabrics than green fabrics. But I did buy some at the store. They didn't have a huge selection. We don't have very many fabric stores anymore. I'll try to do my best. It needs to be more green heavy for sure because it's a Packers. So this one will probably be the star of the show. So I'm gonna start with this. I'm actually gonna iron it a little bit to make it easier for cutting, I think. We are at the 1 hour mark. It's almost 10 a.m. And I've got the dark green cut, and then now I'm gonna do this green as well, and then probably both of the yellows, only because I can use the yellows in other projects if I don't need them for this project. And my goal is to hopefully get done cutting everything by lunchtime so that I can start sewing after lunch, and then see if we can get the show on the road. It just takes a long time. Like, I'm not being purposely slow. It just takes a long time to do. So. Another 1 hour check. It's 11, and I got this pattern all cut, and I got this like more plain gold one all cut. So I don't know if we should kind of like, I just don't want to make too many blocks because I don't know what I'm going to do with the extra blocks if it doesn't fit into the sweatshirt. But I know it's like a 3XL, so I'm gonna need a lot of blocks to do the sleeves. The sleeves are gonna be huge. And then the word across the front, like I don't want it to be small because it needs to like fill up the 3XL. So I'm gonna need a lot of blocks. I'm also a little in fear that I don't have enough green. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the rest of this as much as I can before I get starved, before I'm like starving to death. I love this one. It's yellow with white flowers, and the stems are black, so it'll match literally anything that I need it to. Alrighty, we're back at the 1 hour mark. It is noon. I have most of the fabric cut. I just ironed these ones, and there's not much here. So 3 more like yellowy fabrics. And like I said, I have way more yellow than green, but it should be fine. I look tired because I am. All right, it's 12:34. And I'm done cutting. Like, I'm done. I did lay this out in case I needed like an extra, like maybe neutral, but I'm not cutting it. So there we go. I've only got like 5 more hours-ish until I have to be done. So let's go. I'm back. This is like the least aesthetically pleasing angle ever because all the cabinets and junk that still need to be like put up and put away are just right there behind me. but like this is where I sit and sew. So yeah, so we'll just pretend that it's not behind me. It's almost 1:20. I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about this, but I do want to try chain stitching, so we'll try that together. I do need to change my thread because it's red. My thread is red. I think I'm just gonna do a green thread because there's just gonna be so much yellow, I fear. So we're gonna do green thread. And then, yeah, we'll see what we get up to after that. But I'm gonna change my thread to green. I need to fill a bobbin. I don't have a green bobbin, I don't believe. Here is my green thread. We'll just do like a regular green. I have other greens, like darker greens, but that's okay. We're just gonna do like a basic green because it'll match closest with like most everything else, and then get to work and try to chain stitch. It's actually romantic. It definitely needs curtains because one, it's so bright, and like when this sun moves, it's gonna move here in a little bit. I'm gonna be like blasted in the face, and then I won't be able to see very well. But then also at nighttime, I have my lights on so I can see, and everyone else can see in. This giant chain of 2 pieces together. So I'm going to take this over to my cutting table over there. Not my cutting table, my ironing table over there. I'm going to cut apart each whatever, and then iron the seams. Then bring it back over here and add on the 3rd block to the stitch, the chain, the row. All right. Finished ironing all the blocks open, and I can already tell there's like nowhere near enough for how many rows I'm gonna need. But we'll go ahead and start adding the 3rd block to the rows, and then ironing those open, and then start making the 9 square blocks just to see how much more we'll need. But I'm not even sure if I have enough fabric cut out for how much fabric I'm gonna need for this darn sweatshirt. I'm just taking each row, and then, so like this one is yellow, green, and I'll add another yellow. And then this one, I'll do like green, yellow, add another green. So each one I'll alternate what color I add to it. So I'll add a yellow, I'll add a green, I'll add a yellow, I'll add a green, and back and forth so that they're evenly dispersed. So this is just gonna take a little bit of time, but we'll get through it. All right, it is 5:21. I'm gonna clock out for the day. I might come back out here this evening, probably not. This is what I have done so far. So these are piles of 3 rows, so it'll make 9 square blocks. Definitely gonna need more. So I still have quite a bit of fabric left over here, but I'm definitely running low on my greens. But I'm gonna go in, shower, make myself a quick dinner, and then the kids should be home. So yeah. Good morning. It's Tuesday, about 8:45 a.m. Ooh, these bags are big. They're designer. I have my blocks kind of put into 9 squares like this, and then I just kind of laid them out. So what I'm gonna do is attach them row by row, and then hopefully this will be big enough for the sleeves and the words. I have not created the words yet because that's gonna be pretty quick. But I got the sleeves taken off of the shirt and the little cuffs. So those are ready to go. As soon as I get these sewn together, I can cut out the sleeves from this. Again, fingers crossed that this is big enough. If not, I do have more squares to work with. And if I don't use those squares, I'm gonna be left with a lot of green that I don't need, but maybe I'll make another one in the future. Maybe someone will want a green team again. So I'm just gonna do that. It's kind of a dreary day, very gray. So we're just gonna try to make it a little cozy in here. We've got a lot to do and I am running behind. This was due like last week. And then I have a pattern test that's due today. I haven't even touched it yet. And I have a dress due today. So we've got a lot to do. And then we've got stuff due all the rest of the week. Like we are lined up with orders. So let's get to it. I'm just gonna start row by row. See how it goes. Also, my lines are not perfect, like you can see. And I don't care. Like it's not gonna be perfect, but it's kind of like I don't care. It's not supposed to be perfect, so that's that. We are sitting at about 10:30 now, and I've got the quilt top all sewed together. So I did the rows and then put the rows together, and I am cracking up at how bad it is. It's okay, it's fine, but I'm like, it's funny. Okay, so this side isn't too bad, like kind of straight, whatever. But then you go, 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 go. What the heck? It like got shorter and shorter with each row. I have no idea what happened, but it's done. So not perfect at all, and my fingers are crossed that I don't need to put any more blocks together, that this will be big enough. We've got the quilt top. So since the rows are uneven, like I don't know, it's just funny. It's fine. And I still need to iron it. I just really wanted to check and see if I need to add more blocks. Okay, here is one sleeve. And then if we flip this, Okay, it fits barely, but it does. Okay, so the sleeves fit on here fine, gives a little bit of room for some excess, but I won't have enough scraps for the words because it's supposed to say Packers along the front of the shirt. So I will need to make a few rows for that, but the sleeves are good. The sleeves are on there, so that is making me happy. So I need to press open the seams where I sewed together the rows. This is not perfect. And I actually wish it was more green than it is, but it's fine. So I used this basting adhesive to stick the original sweatshirt sleeves to the cutout quilt top thing. And so now I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and quilt these sleeves. And then I will be able to attach the sleeves back onto the shirt. So, perfect. So I have to change my thread, and I'm going to use this green color to try to make it more green. I'm going to change my stitch to the number 1, which is a straight stitch, and I'm going to change the length of the stitch to the highest it will go, which mine goes to a 5, so it'll make the stitches longer, so it'll look more like a top stitch instead of just like regular stitches, and you'll be able to see the thread more. That's the goal. So this is what that straight line just looks like down that way. My littlest one has had a fever this week, and so I've not been able to work, but she is feeling much better today. So she is out here with me. She is watching YouTube Kids on the tablet because I'm desperate and I have got to work. So that's what we're doing for now until she gets restless. And then I will see how I can entertain her while trying to get work done. but I am, like I said, behind on orders, so I have got to work, and I can't take her to her school because she had a fever yesterday. She has to be fever free for 24 hours. So, and they don't have school tomorrow on Friday. So I'm quilting this sleeve, and then I have another sleeve to quilt. And then, oh my goodness. Of course the bobbin ran out. Because why wouldn't it have ran out? Okay, I finally have one sleeve quilted. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have the sleeves quilted, and now I've already sewn them back together this way with right sides together. I'm gonna cut off the excess around them, and then I'm going to serge it so that it's more comfortable, and it's also going to be more sturdy and stable that way. Okay. All right, no, don't do that. Hey, do you want to go to Granny's house? Do you want to go play with Granny? Or do you want to stay here at Mama's work? You want to go to Granny's house? Okay, let's go to Granny's house. Okay, my grandma lives around the block from me, and so earlier we were texting, and she said if Lola gets tired of working with Mom, drop her off for a little bit. And so we walked over there with a bag full of snacks and toys, and so they're gonna have fun for a little bit. I'll probably give it about an hour. It's 10:47, so probably around 11:45 I'll head back over, grab her, we'll do lunch, and then lay down for a nap, and then hopefully I can get some more work done. I need to print out the letters that are going to go across the chest, so I need to measure the chest. I'm going to create the letters inside Canva. So the whole word will be about 20 inches. And then we're going to also make sure we put cardstock in the printer. I'm gonna cut out the letters now so that I can trace them out and cut them out of the quilted fabric. So So it's just gonna take me a minute to cut these out. It's 11:16. I have all my letters cut out, and I'm going to try to use my scraps because now that I'm looking at it, maybe they'll fit and I won't have to do any more. Okay, I have those laid out. They're perfect. I'm going to pull out the interfacing, get that on my ironing table, place these over on my ironing table, kind of tidy up a little bit, and then I'm gonna go walk over to my grandma's, pick up the daughter, and come back here, make lunch, get her laid down for a nap, and then see if I can work some more. This table has batting in it, so it's just the whole table is basically an ironing board, which is very nice for me. I love it. I'm gonna cut pieces to go on the back of this, and then I'm gonna trace the letters, cut them out, stick them to the shirt, sew the sleeves on, then we'll be done. So we've only got a million steps to do before we're done. So now I'm going to trace the letters like backwards on the back of like where I put the interfacing basically. So I'm going to position it where there's mostly green in the letters to balance out the sleeves, because the sleeves are technically 50-50, half green, half yellow, but some of the greens like have a lot of white in it, so it makes it look more yellow than green. So to balance it out better, there's like the largest bug I've ever seen in my life crawling down this side of my house. Oh, it's a flying bug. It flew away, don't worry. It's like a dinosaur. Okay, anyway, so I'm gonna trace them, and I'm so tired. So tired. Okay. So I want to make sure that these letters are straight. So I think I'm gonna go about 4 inches from the neckband. This Spray and Bond basting spray. Have the basting spray holding the letters on, but it's like temporary adhesive. So while I'm sewing around these letters, they can start moving around. So I'm just gonna use some pens, like sewing pens, to hold them into place while I'm working on the other letters. So I've got everything pinned in place. If it moves around, I still have the tape with the marking on it so that I can move it back into place if I need to. So there's like, it's kind of foolproof. Like I have the tape with the markings. I also have the adhesive spray on it to help it kind of stick. And then I've got pens in them. So we should be good to go. We're gonna applique the letters. So we're gonna stitch around the letters onto the shirt. And had I been a genius when I first made this product, I would have chosen the most simple stitch, but of course not. I wanted it to look cute. So it's a very complicated stitch and I have to be very precise going around it instead of just willy-nilly, which is what I would prefer to do right now. All right, I actually only got 2 letters done, but I'm gonna call it for now. So I got the S and the R placed with the stitches. I need to get the threads off, but you see like it's pretty nice applique. So it takes a while and then you're going around all those curves and edges, and so it's a lot. All right, we're back. It is just after 4. My watch is dead. It's just after 4. It's like 4:10 according to my crooked clock over there. And I have until like 6 to work uninterrupted, as long as I choose to work and focus. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm choosing that. So we're gonna get back to these letters. I'm hoping I can have all the letters finished and the sleeves sewn on by 6. Like that's my big ambition. All right, I ran out of bobbin thread, so I'm filling the bobbin. And I have finished 2 more letters, so I only have 3 letters to go. All right, the front is done. Well, just the threads need to be cut, but it says Packers, woohoo. So exciting. So I'm gonna turn it inside out and attach the sleeves. Okay, let's get to work. I put the arm the wrong way. I put the arm the wrong. I put the sleeve wrong way. Wrong way. I already sewed it down and serged it. All right, I'm gonna rip it out. Gonna rip it out. Okay, I'm still seam ripping this thing and it's the next day. So when you sew and serge it on, it's really on there, all right? So we're gonna get this finished. I only have about 4 more inches. All right, and then we're done. I really thought about just cutting it off, like, but I didn't want to take that much out of the seam because I didn't want to change the way it fits. So we're being very precise, and that's all right. Okay, also, like, don't wear black when you're doing this. Let's get this finished.